Parceros. Welcome to the Parceros Take episode 26 featuring Andy Deossa, el papá de los pollitos. Parceros, thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment. This is live, so comment your thoughts. Compliment Danny's jersey. Andy, I like the blue. Ron, I like your
The blue
hoodie,
hat, the
whatever you
blue hat.
want.
We like Andy's blue hat.
Don't start hating on
Parceros.
me, man.
¿Qué más, parcero? Bien, okay. Excited to be
Come on.
back. Lots to talk about. We're gonna be talking about the squad call-up, Nestor Lorenzo's squad call-up, injuries, lots of injuries, lots of people that came in, coleados. Also, we got upcoming match against Bielsa's Uruguay. And without further ado, how's it going, Andy? What's going on, man?
Parceros, todo bien. Aquí otra vez. Every time I say it, time goes by so fast when we start doing these again, man. But shout out to the new intro, man. That was fire. I was doing my little dance over here behind the scenes before we went live.
El flaco went in. Shouts to
Yeah.
Flaco on that.
Andy always with his bottle of aguardiente, showing it off.
Never fails, man.
But now, parceros, here we go again. Eliminatorias. I feel like life is just what happens in between Colombia soccer matches.
Facts.
Like my life leads up to the Colombia soccer matches, and then whatever.
How's this? What's the sentiment going into these? Like, I think it's very critical matches. If you guys don't remember, I mean, yeah, you guys are gonna remember.
We remember.
This was the beginning. Last qualifiers. This was the beginning of the downfall of Colombia's downfall. What's the sentiment going into this one? Is it the same feeling, or how are we feeling?
I think there's definitely a reason for like being a little nervous or maybe a lot nervous because of everything that's happened in the past, just with the last cycle, just with the way that these players, some of them got injured and the call-ups, and we'll get into all that. But at the same time, and to be on the optimistic side, like I've mentioned a lot, this is a new process, right? So you have to kind of give it that time, just see how it goes. If you want to get positive results, you want to get points, obviously it's what matters right now, but you have to cautiously be optimistic if that makes sense there, and hope for the best, man, which I feel like is what we do all the time anyway. So not much changes there.
Yeah, I think as far as the call-ups, no list is going to be perfect. No one's going to be 100% happy with every list that comes out or any list that comes out. But I think we could have done a lot better than what Nestor Lorenzo has planned for us.
Out of 10, what would you guys rate this list? Compare like 1 out of 10. What would you rate it?
I'm gonna give it a 7 just to not be too hard.
Bro, I'll give it a 5.
5?
I'm gonna give it a 7 because there's room for improvement. But I mean, this is all we got, man. Pretty much.
Yeah.
The core is what we got.
Really.
So let's get into the call-ups. Danny, if you want to do the honors.
Dale. We got in the back los keepers, Vargas, Montero, Mier, Cuesta, Borja coming in, a left back, injured Dani Munoz that was replaced by Mosquera from the Timbers, Davinson Chances, David Machado, Valojes, which was replaced by Castro from Millonarios, Fabra, James, Arias, Durán, Carrascal, Castaño, Díaz, Sinis, Casierra, Uribe, y'all's personal favorite, Rafael Santos Borré, Rios, Santi Arias, Dita coming in from Cruz Azul, Barrios, Yasser is back, and Gerson Mosquera, center back from Cincinnati FC.
Both.
Yo, okay, so I mean, first of all, we gotta talk. Who are we missing? What were the injuries? What were the casualties that caused some of these changes?
I know you saw Munoz on the lineup. He was replaced by Stefan Medina, who then got replaced by Mosquera from the Timbers, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
What do you guys think about that whole line of injuries and then Mosquera being called up?
Listen, I said it, I think, on the first edition. Like, I like how Santiago Arias played this year for Cincinnati, so I'm not mad. I'm not mad at him being maybe our first choice at this point. And I think Mosquera has been good, man. I think Mosquera has been also good for the Timbers. Like I said, it might just be me watching a lot more MLS than I watch other leagues. But I mean, Munoz wasn't super convincing to me in those games. I would have liked Medina just because he has the reps and he has, the experience with La Selección. I think he's grown a lot in the past years in Mexico. But honestly, none of those players make me feel confident. You could give me all four of them, and I'd probably be like, nah, like whatever. I don't think one made me feel a lot more confident than the other. So I don't know, man. The back line is a work in progress, and it's not looking too good right now.
Yeah, especially considering the opponents we're playing. A lot of speed up top, a lot of experience. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna start at that right back spot. It's kind of really up in the air. Arias, Mosquera. I mean, that's only two options we have. Balojes was also on the list, injured and replaced by Leo Castro. I know that we have pretty strong opinions on Leo Castro. So I propose that we play a game. We're gonna go around, and each one of us is gonna say one name that of a player that is more deserving to be on the list than Leo Castro, right? And loser has to.
Are these serious candidates or?
Huh?
We're gonna be
serious. No, we have to be serious. We have to be serious.
I got it.
All right. And loser has to take a shot of guaro or something. Actually, in the comments, comment like if whoever runs out of ideas, out of a name, has to comment, or they have to do whatever the comments say.
That's a scary thought.
All right. So I'll start. Linda Caicedo.
Take a shot, but no, actually, no.
No, mentira. Okay. Cucho Hernandez.
That's the obvious. Bro, I would even say Chicho Arango, bro, at this point.
Yeah,
Cucho.
Chicho's a good one.
And by the way, before
Harold Preciado
before we go in, Cucho, we were Parceros United was present at Atlanta United Columbus. Just, scouting out Cucho, seeing what's going on, trying to figure out the reason why he wasn't called up, But there's scouting my binoculars and whatnot.
Slight flex.
Seeing what's going on. But
just like Camilo C said, Harold Preciado, man, Santos Laguna, el ex Deportivo Cali, 8 goals in the last 11 matches, 7 goals, 4 assists in the year.
Es que loser buys a Nestor selección jersey.
Oh, they sell those? Where do you buy those?
Bad, sí. Hágale, who's next? Ron.
Andy.
No, él dijo.
I said Chicho.
Dijo Chicho.
Chicho. Okay, me toca a mí. Marco Pérez, who plays in Águilas Doradas.
Águilas Doradas.
If you're gonna call up someone from, one of the worst leagues in the world, which is the Colombian League, I hate the Colombian League. At least call someone that's in form, man. Like, come on, Marco Pérez.
How? Andy.
I'm gonna say your favorite, Diver Cambindo. Bro, like all these names, honestly, are better than Castro for real, bro. I'm not even lying.
I'll say John Cordova scored last 3 matches, made the Russian ideal 11 this past week with Casierra. John Cordova, part of the process, hasn't been given a shot at number 9, still scoring goals. Next,
Campas down in Rosario Central. He's been killing it. Shout out Danny, que dio papaya y me lo pasó por texto.
Yeah. Rosario Central, 3 goals and 1 assist in the last 6 matches. He's a true winger. He has the ability. He kills you on the one-on-one. He plays on Lucho's side, but can play on the right side and can also play in the middle, man. Hamilton Campas he's been kind of, in my opinion, out of the one, even when he was playing in Tolima, he was always kind of knocking on that door to the previous profes, and he's never been called up. But I like him. If you call Balojes, you got to call up Campas because he's been doing work on the wing as a true winger.
And I think if he was playing on a bigger team with more press, there'd be more eyes on him, more people calling for his name, but underrated. Andy?
La vida de Roger Martinez, dog.
Roger Martinez is playing. Roger is playing for Racing. He's playing. He's starting. They haven't been playing well as a team, but he played well the last Libertadores. Roger Martinez. I would say Juan Guillermo Cuadrado. Cuadrado could play right back, could play the winger. Hasn't been getting lots of minutes, but neither has Castaño and Cruz Azul, which got called up.
And why was Cuadrado off?
Oh, he's
supposedly injury.
No, he's been getting beat. I mean, he played 35 minutes last game.
No, even if he weren't playing, he'd still be called up.
He's one of the referentes.
No, but he was injured. He was injured.
But he played.
But there was a weird thing that is like they didn't call him up because he's injured, but he played last game with Inter. So
35 minutes. To me, that should be a right back. Y'all kind of sped through that. That should be a right back.
No, but with the way that his lineup looks, that wouldn't be a terrible person to have. All the stuff that we talk about him and how different he is playing in the midfield. Sometimes he's great, sometimes he's not. Like, I would feel a lot more confident having him as a starting right back in this next game than I will whoever we have.
Sí, acá dice Fabián, thought Cuadra was injured. Bueno, me toca a mí. Juan Fernando Quintero could also be an option on the right. What'd you say?
Did he get hurt, or he's just not?
No, he's just not. He wasn't called up. He's been playing for Racing. Same.
Yeah, he played with Roger. They played. They're not as a team. They're not playing well, but they're playing.
That's interesting to me though, because it's Quintero, but he wasn't great in the last round of games. But
I think we have too many players similar to that profile.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a better option than Leo Castro, in my opinion. Andy, you're next.
I'm next. ¿Qué hay de la vida de Miguel Ángel Borja?
Miguel Ángel Borja, he's not playing at all. Salomón Rondón kind of took that spot for him in River.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to me how in soccer terms, like, years go by and they seem a lot longer, but just, was it 6 years ago that he was having that great Copa Libertadores with Nacional, and I was like, he went to Brazil and went back to Colombia, y ya no se sabe mucho de él.
He was decent under Gallardo when Gallardo was at River last season, but he got in problems with the coach, Di Michelis, at River this season, and Salomón Rondón is a good friend of Di Michelis, so he prefers the Venezuelan over the Colombian.
My turn. Duan Vergara, also playing in Santo Lagunas with Jaro Preciado. He's a winger. I mean, he was injured when he played in Monterrey. He hasn't gotten a lot of playing time, but he's starting to get back in rhythm. I would have picked him over Leo Castro.
Duro. I didn't think we'd get this far.
Saying random names over here.
Bueno, Dairo Moreno.
Uy, no apaguemos.
The last dance.
Are we going there?
He's more deserving than Leo Castro, marica. Come on, man. The second highest goal scorer in Colombia's history, right? Like right behind Radamel Falcao. Like 8 goals off of Radamel Falcao. He's still banging in goals, 37 years old. The last dance, man. You got to honor him. If you're going to call someone up from Colombian League, it's got to be Dairo Moreno.
No.
Dairo Moreno. Seguimos.
I'm going to say biasly Edwin Cetre, who has been one of the better players in the Colombian League this season, bro. I mean, the thing about Leo to me, and my Medellin fan allegiance is going to come out, is that I've watched him play so many years, and he was oportunista with his chances, right? He was always hurt with Medellin. He had a lot of chances and was always injured. Then he goes to Pereira and it runs it up. They win. Then he goes to Millonario and wins. Like, he's won the championship, both tournaments this last year. Pero no, para selección, I'm sorry.
Sí. Dani.
Santiago Moreno.
Qué
Santiago Moreno playing well. I'm serious. Playing well for Portland Timbers.
But did you have that written down? Or?
I did have it written down.
Papi, así, Tomás Ángel. Ese marica me roba las palabras.
Sí, claro.
Hey, what happened with Tomás Ángel, bro? Are they still mad at him at Nacional or what?
I saw a rumor that Sevilla was interested in him, so...
I saw a report earlier this year that LAFC was interested in him, and I was like, that is like a very natural link because of Juan Pablo Angel's recruiting stuff with LAFC, and is a type of player that they would like to have. But I never heard anything else after that. But he's only.
Vamos a seguir derecho. We're not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop. We should stop this. Pero voy a decir, sí, falta Magnelli Torres, Adelito Aguilar.
No. But I mean, we bring up the point. Like, I think the listeners and fans get the point. Like, Leo Castro, it was a courtesy call, which brings us to the empezó la rosca otra vez, okay? Because the last call, if you remember, we were like, yo, there's not that many there's not that many Colombian league players in this that we're like, yo, this kind of interesting, but it's to the point that the league has not been good. So we're like, all right, man, like we're not missing anybody glaringly like, oh man, there's this one player in Colombia that's ripping and that needs to go. Like, what is it? If you watch the Colombian league, actually watch it when we were talking about this off camera, and then you watch other leagues, and I'm not talking about, top European leagues. I'm talking about maybe MLS, Liga MX. The quality of the game is just so much different. It's almost like in slow motion in Colombia because all they do is try to hit long balls. They're not really tactical. They're not really smart in their movements. And it's like, bro, other leagues flow just in terms of soccer flow. And when you're talking about, I mean, we're talking about Leo Castro, who's probably not going to see the field anyway, but still, when you're talking about getting to a level where you're playing international teams, like, bro, these are players that are playing top 5 leagues around the world, dog. You're not even, ni a los tobillos, bro. You're going to be looking like, well, these defenders, they're lining up a certain way. As a striker, how do I get through that? Like, that's not who he's playing against week after week in Colombia. So it's like, it's not, I mean, it's just our league is so bad, and it's been bad for years, and it is.
No, but like, yeah, like to be honest, like if we're gonna keep the list short, I feel like it will be Harold Preciado, which has already been called up, John Cordova, which I don't understand why he's not there, and Campas, and even I'll add Campas just because he's a true winger. You know what I mean? Remember, the side that we're kind of missing right there, that Balojes would have been called up, is that right side. But apart from that, to get past Castro, because at the end of the day, he wouldn't even see the field. Right. My biggest worry, and like me studying for this game and analyzing Uruguay and analyzing our squad, is that right back, man. That right back side, that the way la forma en que lo tiene pintado, Santi Arias is going to be the starter.
Probably.
And, bro, that's worrisome because even at Santi Arias' prime, like, yo, he would get worked on that side, man.
Because speed is not his thing, and you have to think about a player that's coming off of an injury like that. Like, you're gonna naturally lose speed over the years, but you're gonna get even slower when you're recovering from an injury. The thing about him in Cincinnati in MLS that has benefited him is that he doesn't have to really use his speed on that team because the way they play, they already have that coming from the
3 in the back.
Exactly. So he's more
3
like,
in the back. So
let me defend. Let me get up there once in a while.
Mosquera is actually the one that's cleaning up his side.
Yep. So it's
what you're saying is Mosquera and Santi's a start.
No,
I like Mosquera, man. Like, no, I wouldn't throw him in the fire in this game, but I'd like to see him.
And in this game or the next game, you don't throw him in the fire. Like that's what's worrying because
to me, I think he's on a similar level where Davinson is right now.
Bien. Y como que, hey, shouts out to him. But bro, you do not play like no estamos para inventar contra Uruguay en casa. Y contra Ecuador allá, pa. Like we saw what happened. That's why it's worrying, man. Like I lost sleep this week when I started like analyzing these next couple of matches. Bro, it's worrying. Protégeme, señor. Literally, bro. I've been listening to that song this whole week, bro.
Yo, talk to me about the disrespect to Cucho Hernandez, no, man. MLS September Player of the Month, 8 goals in the month, scoring week in, week out. It was in Spain. I just gotta learn.
I know. Don't worry about it. Call of Duty. Don't worry about it.
Cucho Hernandez in Spain, he played as a winger for these really different teams. He wasn't getting called up, and he said in 2021, these players from playing in the Americas are getting called up, but I'm not. And that's probably what fueled his move to Columbus Crew. And now he's in Columbus Crew, he's está rompiendo, and he's not getting called up. I think that's extremely disrespectful. Someone who should be included in the process. Someone who's young. Bill Custer's like in his 30s, 30, 31. Cucho was what, 24, 23, 24. I think he needs to be included in this process at this point.
At some point. And I remember saying a month ago, like maybe it'll be a little different because this is like a home stretch for MLS where teams are not probably like, I want to get like my players, let them go. But Columbus is good right now. Like they're in the playoffs, they're fine. Like they could have easily been like, yeah, sure, we'll send them. And I don't think they're in a position to tell Nestor Lorenzo and the Colombian Federation, like, nah, sorry, buddy. But you're right. Like he needs to be included in this because, like you said, he's not just, oh, I could play 9. Like he could give you a few different looks depending on how you are in need in terms of he could play out wide, he could create, he could obviously score. Like it's not the type of player that you could just put him in one bubble and be like, that's what he's gonna do. And he has all the reason of saying that in the past of like, how are some of these players getting looks and I'm not? It doesn't really make too much sense to me where you say Lorenzo's in Colombia watching players and scouting. Is he not looking at MLS? Because he's probably the best striker this season. Maybe there's a difference in opinions here and there.
But you can't even say that because he called up the Timbers. He called up Mosquera.
Right.
He called up Cincinnati. He called up the Mosquera from Cincinnati. He called up Santi Arias. So that's out of the question.
So it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to me because he, clearly showing his value. The thing I like about Cucho is that he's played in a lot of different places, so he has a little bit of exposure of like high pressure situations. Just in terms of mentality, in terms of experience, I think he was a player that could help Colombia a lot in this cycle. But it's kind of worrisome to me that he hasn't. It doesn't seem like he's even in the mix right now, which it doesn't make any sense.
No, like I think Ron said it best. It's disrespect, not to Cucho, to Harold Preciado, to John Cordova, to Campas, the players that have been doing work, playing at a high level, and still not getting called up. But even then, like I said, I think that's still like wingers and strikers. This is not really much of a problem. I think our problem is our back line. And because we haven't even discussed the fact that Lucumí and Jerry Mina are injured, which has been our starting center backs.
And they probably would have started against Ecuador too.
And if it was tough to watch the last two qualifiers with our starting back line, imagine we're on like our third string right back, third string center backs.
Yeah, man.
Lo único que nos salva es Machado y que metió goles ese fin de semana.
De cabecita, but yeah, facts. But
how do you guys line up?
Moving forward to this next match against Uruguay. And even of course, Camilo Vargas que se comió 4 contra Chivas, which is kind of worrying. Que lo golearon al Atlas. I'll start with Camilo Vargas. Let's discuss the back line. Camilo Vargas, David Machado, Davinson Cuesta, and bro, you gotta go with which the only 2 right backs that got called were Santi Arias and Mosquera, bro. Like that's the only thing that we got. No Cuadrado, no anything else. No Orejuela. Like I would rather have Orejuela from Medellín o este peladito de te digo de
Castilla.
No, what's his name? Jomar Hurtado del Tolima. That would have been like Jomar Hurtado del Tolima or Orejuela. I would rather even went for them, but I think you gotta go with bro. I'm worried, bro, about that back.
Is Orejuela even playing for Medellin?
I didn't play last game, but he played the previous ones.
Nah.
And I know, and I don't.
Either way, it's like
you know, but yeah, bro. Well, right back, Santi Arias. He's gonna go with Santi Arias.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe that's the 4 he goes with. Which you know what?
Bro.
I'm happy to see Carlos Cuesta get his chance, right? Because he's very deserving of it. I think he's our center back for the future. He just needs to get them reps in. So I think that's a good place for us to start. Davinson, we've already been around this block many times. I can't give him confidence, but he's going to go with experience of what he knows. So that's why he's probably going to go with Davinson there. And then I would say Santi because
played well. Davinson played well in the Champions League against Manchester United.
But the thing is, like we mentioned, the speed against Uruguay, like Mosquera might be the smarter option because he does have that. He has the ability to kind of get up and down the field a little easier than Santi would, I think. Well, I don't think he gets thrown out there as a starter, but I feel like tactically that would make a little more sense because of the type of game that we're probably going to see against Uruguay. But yeah, I agree. I think that's the back four, like Danny said. I don't know if there's much of a difference there.
Look better at Galatasaray. Two assists against Manchester. I'll go over the weekend.
Davison's not a bad player. He's
terrible.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's terrible.
Bro, it's inconsistency, bro.
Confidence. I literally think it's a confidence thing. You can see Davison when he makes a mistake, olvídese. Like
keep the head down.
Se agacha la cabeza, and it's like, bro, mistakes on a high level, of course, are always going to affect you. But you can't be a veteran player in this pool and be that way, bro. You're not going to last because you're giving a bad example to the younger kids. You're supposed to be somebody that La Selección is counting on. and you make a bad pass or you give up a goal, and now it's like now we're done. Like we're playing with one less. Like nah, Papi, you make a mistake, keep it going, dog. Like it happens. It's soccer, it's sports. Like, but if he's getting better in his club right now, puede ser que haga algo.
We got Diego and Fabian talking. One says it was his fault. The other one says it wasn't his fault.
But the real question is for both of them: are you subscribed to the channel? Because if you're not, hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe, like and subscribe. Follow for follow. We follow for follow and like for like. All right. All right. So Ron, your back line. Let's go.
Ya, Vargas, Santi Arias, Sánchez, Cuesta y Machado. I think that eso está más que cantado.
Yo, I can't wait for Santi.
But you're not worried? You're not worried at all?
I like MLS. I think it's a league with good level. Santi Arias at right back doesn't worry me too much. I think he can hold his own. Obviously, he's not going to be the bright spot on the team, but I don't think he's going to get killed against Uruguay.
You see Messi talking shit to him the other night?
Yeah, he got in Messi's head.
Bro. I'm worried because now that I remember it, Santi was thrown in the fire. If I was against Uruguay, either Uruguay or Argentina, when he got thrown in the fire by Peckerman, and we got.
Está fallando el internet del vecino, ¿qué?
Sí.
Ya volviste.
Listen, man, I'm definitely with Ron. I'm not as worried about Santi as Danny is, but I think as a collective, the back line isn't strong in general. So I wouldn't just be, Santi's the weak point. Like
Santi's the weak point, bro. I'm gonna tell you, Santi's the weak point.
Bro, I'm not gonna give my child credit just because he scored the other day. Because that last game he played with Colombia, he was not good either, bro.
He's been playing well. He's been playing well. Bueno, in the middle, what you guys got? What do you guys see?
Barrios.
Lerma's injured. Lerma's out.
You know who's playing there, so it's not even worth asking.
Yo, captain ban.
Exactly. You know who's playing.
Tu capitán. ¿Quién es tu capitán?
No. If you told me I'm director técnico for this next game, I would put Barrios y John Arias in the midfield. Two.
Rios?
No.
John Arias?
Barrios y John Arias. Fluminense, John Arias.
But they're not. He's gonna play on the right.
I don't like him on the right, man. I don't like.
No, he's good on the right. What you mean? He changed the game against Chile. But it's not what you want. What do you think Lorenzo's gonna do? Because that's how we gotta think, bro.
Yeah.
Juega Mateus Uribe y juega el hermano de Mateus Uribe. Así va a salir.
So you think it's gonna be a 2? I think it's gonna be 3 again. It's gonna be 3 in the middle. It's gonna be 4-3-3.
Are you asking me what I want or what?
No, what Lorenzo's gonna do?
Yeah, it's gonna be John Arias, Mateus Uribe, and Barrios. But I don't know if Lorenzo rates Barrios at this point. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I feel like he should be a player that should have a little more of a stay in that team. But that might just be me hating on Mateus Uribe. But I agree, bro. I don't think he's changing this lineup at all, bro. I think he's gonna go out with basically the same that we saw. He's not changing it in terms of he doesn't have to change players that got injured, obviously. But I think Mateus is like a sure start, which hurts me to say.
Oh, who replaces Lerma?
That's tough.
In my opinion, I want Barrios. I
would like it to be Barrios. I don't think that's how he's.
But I think he's gonna go with Castaño. And it not to downplay Castaño because I really like the way he played in the friendlies against, I think it was Japan and Korea. He played really well. To me, he was the man of the match in those games. However, he hasn't played since July 15th for Cruz Azul.
Was that the game against Miami where he had a man mark Messi?
No. I'm saying no. He played in that game, but actually no, I think it was that game. It
might have been that game. He didn't play a bad match, but
he hasn't been playing at all since then. So with that being said,
give Rios a shot.
It's worrying. I think.
Pague el recibo.
Arriba, mamá, So yeah, Carrascal. I think the middle is gonna be Carrascal, Mateus, obviously, and Castaño, parce. I would want Barrios, Mateus, Carrascal, but I think it's going to be Castaño.
Puede ser. For the way Uruguay plays, that they want to control the game, and we'll get into it in a bit, I would want someone who can create chaos in the middle, like Barrios does. No one works harder than Barrios, other than, I don't know, I would say Rafael Santos Borré. So I would like to see Barrios just kind of disrupt that midfield of De La Cruz, Valverde, Vecino. I'd like to see that.
I agree, man. I like Wilmar Barrios a lot, bro. I think that's and once again, to the experience point, like if you're looking at a team that has players coming in that maybe in the back specifically, where we're talking about Cuesta, we're talking about Arias or Mosquera on that right side, like you kind of need a little bit somebody that has that confidence in front of them, because if we're running around in that defensive mid spot with intentando and we're not like strong, pues vamos a comer unos cuantos golcitos por allá paz.
Up top, who do you guys got?
Lucho on the left.
Yeah, why do you sigh after
that? No, because it's like, bro, I'm so worried about that midfield and the back line that it's kind of like, dude. Like,
are you worried about Lucho?
No.
I'm worried about Lucho.
You worried about Lucho?
The last 2 games, he didn't do shit for Colombia.
Well, because he has to receive forward. He has to receive going forward. Chile blocked the crap out of his side, man. They already know if you isolate Lucho and you force him to receive down in the middle, no te va a hacer nada. Because what is he going to do? Cut in and he has to pass it. Porque si no, le caen con toda.
Sí, siempre le ponen doble marca a Lucho. That's really limited him, man.
Yeah, that's the game plan, man. It's not really difficult. That's the one dude that is going to give you trouble. Like, yo, man, rough him up a little bit.
Bueno, Lucho, ¿qué más?
Lucho on the right, Arias. ¿Cómo se llama? John Arias. And Borré, which I think it should be Casierra, just because that man can't stop scoring, literally, in Russia. But it's gonna be which Alex Deportivo Cali.
Jay says Diaz, Duran, Arias, Carrascal as the 10 behind them. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all either. I still want.
I like that too, though. But
I still want to see Sinisterra. I know people are definitely mad at him over that missed chance in that last game, but
but
listen, man, we already talked about this. How many?
He's been playing.
How many games did we watch Doessa Zapata in the last cycle miss goals? Miguel Angel Borja missed goals. Like everybody did it in the last cycle, bro. Like we can't crucify this dude for missing one in like the first, the first fixtures. It's tough. It's tough. Obviously, you don't want to see that, but I still think, and I said this before, in terms of his directness to the box, in terms of his like really just he doesn't fear. Like he just goes to it. I think him and Lucho on opposite ends, bro. It could be something. Like I think they're 2 very dangerous players, and I agree. I think Duran off the bench is a good call, but once again, if we're not creating anything in the midfield like we talked about, then those guys are going to be irrelevant because nobody's getting them the ball the way they need to. But I would go with Sinisterra, honestly, man. I'm with Ron. I didn't think Arias was terrible. I didn't think he was great either. So I'm not like tied to him having to be in that spot as a starter.
For me, Lucho on the left, a muerte con La Máquina. Up top, Rafael Santos Borré, you already know. And on the right, James David Rodriguez, the return.
I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going to say it.
No.
You know what? If Lucho isn't going to carry the team, someone has to do it.
So you think James is going to carry the team against Uruguay?
It's James David Rodriguez.
Against Uruguay?
Creating on the right.
Parce, no,
cutting in from the right, dude. I think Colombians are the only ones that don't know the talent that James Rodriguez has. You know why? Sao Paulo loves him, man. Go on Twitter right now. Type in James Rodriguez Sao Paulo. It is going to be a bunch of...
Mandales un beso a los de Sao Paulo en Twitter. Mandales un beso. Pero no, parce. First of all, Nestor Lorenzo knows that he can't put James on the right. So if anything, he's going to put him as a false 9. He won't put him as a starter on the right. Porque the right side is the side that Santi Arias is going to be at, bro.
Sí. And that's why you got Wilmar Barrios in the middle, ready to cut off any attack.
No, parce, no.
A todo
Qué
juego, bro.
estrés, weón.
You gotta put all the meat on the grill, man.
Now I'm stressed.
Because, you know...
Pero James, weón. Yo,
man. You know what
I
I'm
want to see
saying
James, man.
that.
I want to give him the opportunity, man. The last dance. Come on.
No. You had me with Arias in the middle.
We need work rate. James can barely run.
If you put Arias in the middle, that means you could put Sinisterra on the right. Hey, you had me there.
You know, this comment, James can barely run. But you know who else can barely run? Uruguay in Barranquilla at 3:30 in the afternoon, man.
90 degrees. It's predicted to be 90 degrees by the time kickoff.
They're gonna be tired.
You know something. I knew you guys were gonna say that. Y por eso es que les tengo datos y los datos.
Hay que darlos.
Bielsa has been in Barranquilla since Sunday. He's planning to practice 5 days before the match. 2 days, and he's practicing during the day. I don't know if that's gonna pay off for him. If he's trying to acclimate the Uruguayans, I'm hoping they're gonna be tired and it's gonna be like a step
overrated.
But he's trying to acclimate the Uruguayans.
I don't buy into that. I don't buy into that. It's mind games.
It's smart to try it. And I think I was reading something that said like we're gonna go out and attack, which nobody would be surprised if they did that because that's literally how they play every game. But it's not, when you think about qualifiers in South America, like there's not many. You can't do that every country you play in at certain times, and there's a reason why this game is so early. Like he could be thinking that, but the players might be like, "All right, bro, we're gonna need to like chill out a little bit. You can't go full force. I don't think for 90, and well, you might have to go for 90, but full force at least to start the game over there in that type of weather at that time. But if that's what he's doing, he's trying to acclimate the players.
I feel like that's what he's trying to do, bro.
Smart, man. It's a smart move.
You can't acclimate the players in 5 days, 3 months, maybe even 6 months. Bro, these Colombian players, what they have, they grew up with calentao, aguapanela, bro. They have it in their DNA, man.
Oh my god!
Come on, we've been playing qualifiers since when? In Barranquilla.
Yeah, but most of our players are in Italy and all that crap, bro.
Bro, it's in the DNA, bro. It's hardwired into the Colombians, man.
In Russia, Casierra and what's it called in Russia, dude? Borres in Germany.
Y todos esos manes son de la costa, güey.
De la costa.
Bro, they grew up playing on the streets and, without sandals, in the hot pavement, man. Come on.
I don't know, bro. Have you been? Have you been to a match? Yo, Andy, you're the last one to go. How's that match in Barranquilla, bro? At 3:30.
Nasty. The one that I went to was not I don't think it was at 3:30. Was that Peru game at that early? Nah, it wasn't that early. I think it was at like 5 or 6 the Peru game because I was there.
No, but the sun was still out when we
tried. Yeah. As I said, like 5 or 6. It wasn't that early, like 3:30. But bro, it was hot that day, man. Like it was hot. I mean, it's always hot out there. That's not surprising at all.
I don't know, bro. I'm worried.
James off the bench when they're tired. 4-2-3-1 Caracas to start. Yo, this guy's playing FIFA Ultimate Team or what? Arias on the right. I like to start Castaño, Rios, Uribe to close out the match because they know how close them out to match.
That's not terrible. I don't like that, Camilo. Me gusta.
I like it. I kind of like it.
I like it, but I don't think it's what Nestor's gonna do.
Oh, trust me.
I don't think James is starting, bro. I don't think James is starting. There's no way, bro. There's no way.
Bro.
What? Yo. You start James? You start James, Andy?
Yo, if they start James, dog, you already know I'm on one, bro. The game's at 1:30 here in LA.
So do you start him or do you not start him?
Do I start him? Nah, I start Sinisterra, but hey, man, I'm always gonna give James the benefit of the doubt, bro, until I see otherwise, and I'm not mad at it, bro. I'm not mad at it at all.
Like we said, we're playing Bielsa's Uruguay, so. El Loco Bielsa, you know how they have the philosopher king? Bielsa is a philosopher coach, right? All his press conferences he always talks in similes and metaphors. And he said in the press conference that he's going to go out to attack Colombia and he's going for the win. And he expects the win for Uruguay, which is kind of bold from the sake because of what we just talked about. We're playing in Barranquilla and in 90-degree weather, the humidity at 3:30 in the afternoon. So...
what if he's saying that and he's not like gonna attack? What if he's like, I'm parking the bus and just trying to get a 0-0?
I think he's gonna.
I believe it too. I believe him. I'm just saying
because what's the Bielsa playing style? Dynamic, high intensity, pressure, and they not going forward and defending. They don't defend in the back like Uruguay. No, they defend literally everything's forward.
Yeah.
And bro, like with our brand new back line, essentially, we're already struggling playing out the back. No Lerma. El crack these days, Mateus Uribe, is going to be the connector in the middle.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now, man.
Facts. Yo, like, parece, they got their midfield is Valverde, Ugarte, and De La Cruz. And you already know they're gonna come out high intent. I'm hoping that we cook them. I'm hoping literally like Barranquilla cooks them.
Turn the heat up.
I'm confident.
But if Barranquilla doesn't cook them, parece.
Nah. It's mind games. They're gonna think they're gonna be acclimated, and then once they kick off 15 minutes in, Darwin Nunez is gonna be melting in near the kickoff spot. Like, nah, I don't think they can match Colombia's intensity for 90 minutes.
One thing I heard from Lucho Diaz, he was talking to the media, like, and I don't think I hear Colombian players say this a lot when they're playing for La Selección. Like, we need to go out and score early, and I'm like, in terms of how Colombia's looked in these first halves in the past few months, I'm like, that's a pretty damning statement to say, considering that we haven't looked great in those first 45 minutes. So I don't know if that's maybe something that he's just feeling, or that's something that Colombia is like really thinking about. Like, yo, we got to try. We're at home, try to be on that front foot and try to get that early goal to try to, calm down the pressure a little bit. But that'll be interesting to see if that plays out.
They have a lot of quality in the midfield, like you mentioned, De La Cruz, who's right now is River's most important player. He's playing at a crazy level. Ugarte, un crack, Valverde,
¿Qué tal ese gol que en la Champions?
That's why I think Barrios is going to be key to stopping. And someone mentioned it. Jay, nice.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think
Barrios
is a good call to play there, man. And who knows? Maybe he does. Maybe he does. I just hope, for the sake of, like, if he does stick with the same lineups that we saw in those first two games, like, it looks a little different than it did in those first two games. Because, bro, if we get the Mateos that we got in that last game, I could see a nice little 4-0 easily, bro.
Relajado.
Just
because of Mateus?
Bro, just because we're just literally talking about that's the most important part on the field right now. Like,
man for man in the midfield, they kill us.
Quality.
That's why we need a disruptor. Barrios for president.
To be honest, like, now, like, looking back what you said about Arias in the middle, I hope Nestor Lorenzo put Arias in the middle, bro. When I say John Arias in the middle, because I think he does help out control, getting control of the ball with Barrios, and which would probably be Mateus.
And like you said, you could put Sinisterra on that right side if that is the case.
And that opens up Sinisterra on that right.
Right.
Pero, man, the problem, we also have. I was just about to say that the goals, man, we don't score, bro.
¿Ibas a tirar ese mismo dato, bro?
¿Qué?
Que ibas a tirar ese mismo dato.
Sí, iba a tirar el dato. Well, I wasn't gonna throw that one, but I was gonna say that. Look, we have trouble scoring. Not only in the first half, in the second half too. That's the problem.
In general, bro.
Like, so it's tengo miedo.
What's good news? Well, it's not good news, but it is news that kind of favors Colombia. Is that Rochet, starting goalkeeper for Uruguay, plays for Internacional in Porto Alegre in Brazil. Mm-hmm. He's in doubt with an injury, so they might be depending on Junior's keeper, Uruguayo Mele, to start. And considering that he already plays in Junior, he might be a good option for them in the back. But yeah, their starting goalkeeper is in doubt. They have Vecino back, Ronald Araujo from El Barcelona, El Diez de Flamengo. He's also called up. So they have a lot of quality. Darwin Nunez. They only brought one striker, right? They didn't bring Suarez, who's been killing it at Gremio.
Or Cavani.
Cavani.
Or Cavani. But either way, clearly, I think their starting man is going to be Nunez, Lucho's compatriota in el Liverpool. And I mean, they still got Pelistri, Araujo, Parce. Like,
That's
these
a
guys are.
squad, bro. It's a squad. It's a really good team.
Tengo miedo. Yo digo, tengo miedo, pa.
So we know Bielsa is going to come out, to win the game, control the game. Do you think Colombia's va a apostar al contraataque, or do you think they're also going to go out to control?
Yo creo que salen a controlar el balón.
Yeah, I think they got to, bro. If you try to take a back seat to Uruguay in the home game, that's gonna be issues.
En mi opinión, I think este es el partido de Carrascal. Ahí es donde vamos a ver la diferencia de los niños.
Otro costeño.
Carrascal. Tiene que Carrascal. I think he is the key in the midfield para ponerlos a jugar. And I think literally, like you mentioned, James, like, yo, someone's got to take control. That man has to be Carrascal. I don't think it's James, bro. I think James es como el Magnelli Torres de Peckerman. Like, de Oli contra Bolivia muy bacano, pongámoslo contra Paraguay, pero contra Uruguay y Ecuador, la chimba, pa.
Qué dolor me da, parce, qué dolor me da.
Straight up, bro.
Como se olvidan de los cracks tan rápido.
No, es un crack. But, bro, no es el mismo, mira, como decía Fabián González.
No es el mismo, but he's still better than whatever he got, man. I want to see James and Carrascal tirando magics in the midfield.
Hey, now that we have Yasser back on the squad, you think he gets some playing time and like as a sub coming in?
As a matter of fact, now you mention him, I would rather have Yasser in than James.
Te pasaste.
No, ¿qué?
Bro,
what?
Nah,
bro,
as a sub in the second half is fine, but bro, how are you gonna throw him as a
starter
already, bro?
I will start Yasser over James any day. If you're gonna start James on the right, put Yasser in, bro. Any day, bro. He's playing in the second Premier League
Championship.
In the mighty championship. In the mighty championship.
Sí, ahí está, pum. Thank you, Red Blur, like he gets it.
Falta respeto, parce.
Yo creo que Nano.
Falta respeto, bro. Magnelli.
No, but for real, like, vea, James es el Magnelli y quién es el Abelito Aguilar. El que Mateo Uribe, pa. I'm not saying it's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. Pero no, Yasser, to me, I'll put Yasser over y lo tiro al agua.
No, but
if you're gonna put James, metan a Yasser.
I think Yasser and Duran off the bench could be interesting, bro. It could be super interesting. Yeah, exactly. But in a game that you're like losing, it's gonna be like, all right, man. But we're talking about, right? We don't have time to skip para experimentar lo que sea, bro. We have to. This is the time that we have to get different looks, bro. We can't get married to the same lineups and think like, oh, it's gonna be all right. Oh, we just played bad, or Magnelli had a bad game, this and that. Like, no, papi, I can jugar, I can tentar, I can because if we're gonna stick to the same script, it's not. I mean, I don't think that's the right way to go about it in a qualifying cycle. At least this early into it, because we're not literally. I mean, like we mentioned, the pool is not as strong right now of players that we could be having, but we're not seeing a lot of progress if we stick to the same script. If we're trying to say, oh, we need to have Mateos be there all the time, if we have, the back line is rotational, if we have Luis Diaz is obviously a certified spot. Even Borré, like sure, Borré we talked about at length in the past few episodes, like he deserves it, but like you said, maybe Casierra should get a shot, right? Maybe in the Ecuador game, Casierra should get a shot, just to see something different, just to see if any of these players are going to take a next step to be able to count on them in the future is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Sí, tienes razón.
Especially if we're not scoring. Especially the results aren't happening.
Especially we're not scoring.
And I think you mentioned something key. Is the fact that we need to put the players in their respective positions. You see what I'm saying? Like Duran has only been played on the right when James is playing false 9. Duran's is a 9. So is Casierra. So is Borré. So on the right, Sinisterra is the true winger with Arias. So let's put Sinisterra on the right, and let's try out Duran or Casierra at 9. See if that's if Borré doesn't produce.
Score predictions. What do y'all think? Comment your score predictions in the chat. Where is it? This way. We want to hear. We want to hear. Read them.
Are we like hoping for the best? Like what we really think is gonna happen? Or
you already heard my spiel, bro. I'm confident. I say 2-0 Colombia.
Oosh.
And Darwin Núñez, he's gonna melt.
You said 2-0? 2-0?
Yeah, Colombia.
Eso es lo que yo iba a decir, güey. We gotta write it down. No, te lo juro.
No,
I swear, bro, it always happens, bro. Like, for real.
A empezar a chimbear otra vez.
Uy, es que 5-0. Fabián, yo,
Fabián.
give me your dealer's number, man.
Lo que estaba bebiendo, páselo.
1-0.
Sí.
1-0.
Cambia,
Parce,
1-0, Nicleal 1-0, Fabián
Here's a question. How happy would you be if we won 1-0? Like,
I'd be ecstatic.
It depends how we play.
No.
We win 1-0, bro.
Yeah, bro. No, we gotta get that. Yo, 1-0.
Uy, I'd be wilding, bro.
Bueno, yo voy a ir con el parcero Red Blur, bro. We've been connected this episode. I'm gonna say 1-0. Ve, Red Blur, ¿gol de quién?
De Magnelli.
No, parce, gol de Davinson, va a ver, gol de Davinson.
Gol de Teo.
It's gonna be something like that. If we win 1-0, va a ser un gol como de Davinson.
Un autogol.
Santi Arias de gol de cabeza. It's gonna be something
Yo,
like that,
Santi Arias scores 1-0, bro.
Ay, ¿no?
Se esconde este weón. Se me esconde.
No, parce, ¿sabes quién va a meter el gol de cabeza? Mateo Uribe. Mateo.
No.
Pero es posible, pa. Es posible.
Yeah, but Uruguay, we didn't talk about that. Uruguay and the set pieces too, man.
No.
The good thing I like about having Cuesta in there is he's a little bit taller to kind of help on those, because Uruguay and the set pieces is no joke.
Aquí tenemos.
Andy, what's your score?
My real score, uy, parce, un gol de James, chao, olvídese. Me voy de vacaciones. My real score, realistically, I think we're losing 3-1. My optimistic score, yeah.
No,
my optimistic score is
we win 3-1.
Losing 3-1. I said, that's what I think. Realistically, optimistically, I think we draw 2-2. Though.
You really think who's gonna score for Uruguay? Darwin Núñez is gonna score. He doesn't have a good record for Uruguay. Solo de Barranquilla, marica, para un queso se va a derretir.
Bro, I think the last match in qualifying match in Barranquilla, we tied 2-2, y fue gracias a Dios que Jerry Mina salió, like went up for striker y el golcito de cabeza.
I will say the game against Ecuador for Uruguay, it left me a lot more confident back then, a month ago, when we had a little bit of a perspective, because I did see like they didn't look as dominant and scary to me, but like you talked about going into it now. Hold on, I got you. Going into it now, like there is that little bit of a concern. Like, yeah, I'm kind of with Danny on that. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not as confident.
Question. How did Ecuador look?
Ecuador looked good. Ecuador looked good because they were on the front foot and they basically played that, like they played that back and forth with them. They were like, you want to play that way? We could play that way too. Like, let's roll. And they just did it. They just went up and down with them the whole time.
So I think it's gonna favor Colombia.
That'll favor Colombia, but Colombia wants to control the game a little more. Though. I don't think Colombia wants to get in a race with these, bro.
It's gonna favor us if James is off the pitch. Like we gotta have the right players. No, I'm serious.
And who's gonna make the pass? Who's gonna make the pass?
Dude, Carrascal has to be the man, dude. James, so you're saying we're gonna go up and down against Uruguay, and James is gonna be in the game, bro?
That's why we got Barrios, bro, to cover in John Arias.
No, dude, James don't even play the pass quick. James doesn't even. What is James? No, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like,
all 11 players don't have to run, man. Hay jugadores que tienen más desgaste que otros. Rafael Santoborre is going to run for James.
No.
John Arias is going to run for James.
Here's the thing. If
Barrios is going to run for
that
James.
to work, Santos Borre, he's not even going to be in the game because James will have to play a false 9 and he doesn't come back, and his wingers are going to have to cover for him. Like, no, bro. Like, if we're going to go like up and down against them, dude, I'm telling you, James can't be in the game. It's going to be Carrascal or Yasser playing that role. Y así tener Lucho y Sinisterra on the wings. Or Yuso y Arias on the wings.
Lucho Sinisterra 2024, bro.
Sí, parce, traigan a Linda. Parce, Linda la rompe.
Linda se come a todos esos manes de una, parce. Sin miedo. She'll kill them dudes, bro. Not like that, bro. Grow up, man. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. The team doesn't control the ball the way that they want to, one, and the way that they probably could. So it's like, yo, if you're not able to do that, then we get in the track meet with these dudes, bro. We're cooked. Nah, estos manes sí son muy bobos.
Ay, bro.
No, Pats. But yeah,
Ponga de serio.
Anyways, on that note, I say 2-0 Colombia. And that's going to be 2-0, and Uruguay's going to be lucky we didn't score 3 or 4.
To be honest, the 2-2, the 2-2 kind of sounds. It's more like I'll be happy with a 2-2.
100%, 100%. In this game, I'm happy with a draw. Honestly, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. In this game, I'd be happy with 1 point.
I'm happy with the draw in both games.
That's fine. I think that's fair. I think we can talk about that later. But
wait to Ecuador is fine.
Yeah, of course. But
in this one, I think that's a draw is not a bad result, which is sad that we have to think that way. But shit.
Que gonorrea, parece.
I haven't been
able to sleep right. Like, I haven't been able to sleep. Me siento como el perrito. Run it. Run el perrito. This is me right now. Like, for real, it's.
Bro, that game is at 1:30 Pacific time. I'm cooked.
Oof.
If we lose, I'm gonna be.
Where are you gonna watch it?
I'm gonna be mad the rest of the day, bro.
Andy, where are you gonna watch it?
En la casa con el Rosario.
La calculadora.
La calculadora. I'll be at the crib watching it, man.
Danny, where are you gonna watch it?
I think we're gonna be watching it. Shout out to Wicked Wolves in Atlanta. You know, the best watch parties of Colombia in Atlanta.
Yeesh.
Sponsored by.
Mera publicidad.
Sí,
por allá les caes y
está en la buena, sí. Está en la buena. Pero bueno, parceros, I hope this goes well. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm scared, bro. Tengo miedo.
Palabras sobre.
Hasta esperar el episodio, pa.
Vámonos, muchachos. Dale, muchachos. Thank you for tuning in. Andy, thank you for hopping on. Always great with your analysis. And appreciate you taking time to hop on.
Everybody, thank you for joining in. Red Blur, Camilo C, Fabián González, Mimic 10, en la buena Parceros. Parceros United with Andy Deossa. Nos vemos el sábado, el viernes, el sábado, we'll see. Pero
puros antiarias, papi, vamos.
Con Mateus y James.
Y
Magnelli. Y Abelito.
Okay, I'm ending it now. No.